Hi fam, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's tutorial, we're going to be cutting and sewing this beautiful, lovely dress. So this is what you're interested in, then let's get started. So I have here with me my fabric. I'm using a chiffon fabric and I'm using 2.5 yards of fabric for it. So as you can see, I folded my fabric already and this is the wrong side. So the first thing we're going to do is to mark out our button allowance. Okay, now this is a button down dress. So we're going to take 2.5 inches. That's what I like to take, but you can take 2 inches if that is what you want. So I am marking 2.5 inches all the way to the full length of the dress. And after I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and then connect these lines that I've marked together, okay, to give me a straight line. So you're going to mark it all the way to the full length of your dress, okay? So just connect that line all the way down. And afterwards, I'm just going to take the length and the measurement. I'm working with the full length, and that's 58 inches. Next, we're going to take our shoulder measurement, and please note that every other measurement is going to start from after the button line, okay, after the line that we have marked. So next, we're going to take our shoulder divided by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 is 8 inches, and I'll mark that. And I went ahead to mark the neck width of 3.5 inches. For the neck depth, I came down by 4 inches, okay, and then I came down by 1 inch my shoulder slope, and then I'm just connecting with my rulers as you see me connecting. So just connect all those points together. So from that point, I'm going to come down by 9 inches for my chest line, and I'm going to mark. And afterwards, we're going to go down to the waistline, which is shoulder to waist is 17 inches for me, and I've marked that. I know that you can't see the chalk. I'm so sorry, guys. And this was a chiffon fabric, so it was very difficult for me to work with, like it shifts. So you have to be very careful if you're using this fabric. So the next thing we're going to do now is to create our armhole curve. So I just had to use a t-shirt chalk to do this, but I know you can't see, but please just follow up. When I cut it open, when I cut it out, you're going to see properly. So the next thing we're going to do is to create an armhole curve, and then on the chest line, I came down by 8 inches that I took on the shoulder line and marked as well. And then we divided those two lines by 2. The shoulder line is divided by 2, whatever you get coming by half of an inch. And then on the chest line again, you're going to divide your bust circumference by 4 and place it on the chest line. And then we're going to create the armhole curve, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay. For those of you that have been following me on this channel, this is not a new thing for you. So you should already know how to do this by now. So next thing is on the waistline, you're going to divide your waist circumference by 4. Whatever you get, you're going to mark it, okay? And please note that I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. And then the next thing we're going to do afterwards is to create a shape like this. You're going to just go ahead and then connect it all the way to the hem. Now you can do it for as wide as you want it to be, okay? This was how I wanted mine, so that's what I'm doing. So the next thing we're going to do is to cut this open. So just go ahead and trim as you see me connecting, as you see me cutting rather. So just go ahead and cut all the excess out after you've done all the cutting and everything, okay? So just go ahead and cut. For those of you that if you're a beginner, what you're going to do is to fold in that button allowance. You're going to fold it inwards, okay? You just place your tape, you mark out the line and then fold it inward so it doesn't give you any difficulty. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just folding the back pattern, okay? So I'm going to place the front on the back, okay? And then I'm going to extend it outwards by the 2.5 inches that we marked for the button allowance. That's why I said if you're a beginner, what you're going to do is you're going to fold in that 2.5 inches inwards, okay? So that you won't have any difficulties or be confused. I just hope that you understand what I'm trying to explain. And after I've placed it on the back pattern like this, I'm just going to follow the previous line and cut it out. So this is what we have, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and then trim this line a little bit to make everything equal. So this is what we have. This is basically it. So this is what it looks like. I've brought it onto my table so you can see clearly. This is what one part of it looks like. This is the two together, like it's the two front pieces together. This is what it looks like here. So what I've done here is I have folded the button allowance. As you can see, I have folded it. So let me turn. So as you can see, I folded it in, okay, by 1 inch. So like I said, first you fold in by 1/2 inch and then you fold the 1 inch. So I'm just going to illustrate it here. So you fold by 1/2 inch like this, and then you iron, you press it, okay, with your iron, you press it, and then you fold again to come up by the 1 inch. So like doing it like this just covers it up. So you fold by 1/2 inch, okay, then you press it with your iron, and then you fold again by 1 inch, okay. So that's how I did it here. As you can see, you can see how smooth it is. So next I'm going to just run a straight stitch across. Now you can even decide to leave it like this if that's what you want. It is totally fine. All right, so afterwards, next we're going to mark our button holes, like where we're going to fix the button. So from this point on the top, I came down by 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches because I'm going to be we're going to be adding our bias, and we're going to be turning it with 1/2 inch. So after that, I came down by 3 inches rather on every other point. Okay, so you're going to mark 3 inches all the way down to the hemline. Okay, 3 inches all the way down. So next, we're going to be fixing our snap buttons. Okay, so you can see them. We have them here. Our snap buttons or press buttons, whatever you know them by. This is my machine that I'll be using to fix it, okay. And then the dice, have the dice as well. Now it comes in 2 pairs, okay, because you're going to be fixing the down part and then the upper part, okay. So that's what we have for it. Now if you don't know how to fix this button, please just leave a comment in this comment section. Just leave a comment, and then I'm going to make a very clear and well detailed tutorial of how to fix this buttons. Okay. So I'm just checking again to make sure that I have exactly 1 inch. Okay, so you want to do that, just check properly. Next, we're going to mark 1/2 inch, okay? On each of the button points that we've marked, the 3-inch points that we've marked, you're going to make sure that you have 1/2 inch. Okay, you come in by 1/2 inch. Okay, come in by 1/2 inch, and then mark all the way to the end so that the buttons will align properly. Okay, so that one will not go inwards and the other one come outwards. You want to make sure that they're all in a straight line. So that is what we're trying to create here. Okay, so you're coming by 1/2 inch. Afterwards, you're going to get your pin. If you have the pin, you can use it, but I didn't have the pin, so I'm going to use my seam ripper, okay, to open up the hole that the button is going to pass through. So you're just going to pin it like this, and then just turn it a little bit to just create a little hole, not so wide, it shouldn't be wide at all. And then you pin it like this. Okay, it has like a little pin there, so you just pin it like that. It has like a little hook or whatever it's called. You pin it down like that, and you just place it like this. Then you fix the dice, the upper part of the dice, and then you press it. So this is, you just press a little bit. You don't press too much. You just press it a little bit, and then you have your button. Guys, this fabric, like, I was just struggling with my life because the fabric was just hiding everything, like, because it's black and white and the button is black. So I was just struggling to see how you would see clearly. So, but I don't know if you can see clearly, but I just went ahead to do that all the way through. Like I said, if you don't know how to do this, you can go ahead and then check the description for a link. Okay, so I've made a video on how to properly do this, on how you can fix this button, so you can check that video out and come back here and continue. All right, so let's just go ahead with the rest of the button. Let's fix everything all the way down to the last one, as you can see. So this is what we have after we finish. I know you can barely see it because it's black, but you can see the few ones, and as you can see, we pinned it all the way down to the hemline, to the last point. All right, so this is it for the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it on like this so we can get the other side properly. So we're going to mark those as well. So if you're doing it, just go ahead. After you mark the points, all right, you mark the same points that you marked on the other side, okay, on the cover side. So that's what you're going to do. So you just take them, you open up your hole just as we did for the front, and you're going to go ahead and do it all the way to the end, okay? So let's do that. So can you see what it looks like? You can see what it looks like. So now that we're done, we're just going to place them on each other, okay? The one that goes underneath and the one that goes on top. As you can see them, so we're just going to pin them down, just going to button them all the way to the hemline to see how it turned out to be. So can you see how it turned out to be so clean and so neat? So this is what it looks like here. This is what it looks like. You can see how simple and easy it is to achieve. Yes. So this is pretty much it. So the next thing we're going to do is to place the back on the front. Okay. We're going to place them right sides facing each other. And then you can go ahead to pin it down, or you just leave it. And then we're going to stitch down by 1/2 inch. As you can see, we're going to stitch them down by 1/2 inch. And afterwards, I'm going to use my bias to turn the neck, all right? So this is it, guys. As you can see, I've used my bias to turn the neck and I've joined the shoulders together. So next, we're going to open up the last hole, okay? Remember I said we're going to use we're going to fold in by 1/2 inch. And then afterwards, we're going to fix the button. After you've added your bias, you're going to fix the button. So that is what I am marking at this point. All right, so you just do the same thing as we did, and then you get the midpoint, and then you open up the hole like this for the both sides, and then you fix the buttons in. Okay, now this one might be a little bit difficult for you to open the hole because we folded it. Okay, after you fix your bias, you fold it, so that place is going to be a little bit um strong, or a little bit, yeah, strong. So you're going to just take your time, pin it properly, and then fix your buttons. All right, so this is what we have. As you can see, this is what it looks like. So next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and then stitch down the sides by 1 inch, okay, all the way down to the hemline. Stitch down by 1/2 inch all the way down, and then after you've done the stitching, you can see you're going to go ahead and then fold the hemline. Okay, I've already done that here, so you go ahead and do that. You can fold your hemline by 1/2 inch or 1 inch is totally fine. So the next thing we're going to do is to fix the sleeves. All right, so I've already cut my sleeves off camera, and for this I used 10 inches. All right, and then I folded it like this. As you can see how it looks like, I folded by 1 inch. Okay, I folded it again once and then folded again twice. Can you see that? So here I've opened it up, so you can do that if you'd like. Okay, so the next we're going to do is to go ahead and then run a straight stitch across that point if you'd like, and then we're going to pick up the midpoint of the shoulder and then pin it all the way around, just the way you fix your normal regular sleeve. To just go ahead and then pin it down as you see me doing. All right, so let's do that, and then afterwards, after you've pinned it down, then we're going to stitch down by 1/2 inch. We're going to do that for both sides. So this is the band that we're using as the belt for the back that will be tying to the back. So you're going to run it straight. You're just going to close it up and then turn and iron. I've done all of that here. So what you're going to do is to come down to the waist area. From your shoulder, you're going to come down to your waist and you're going to mark that point. You can see mine is already very visible. So you're going to open up that point a little bit. Okay, you're going to open it up by 1 inch if your band is 1 inch wide, and then you're going to pass it like this. Yes, you pass it like this, pin it down, and then you're going to stitch across that line. just going to stitch it and cover it. So it's very simple to fix. So that's all that you have to do. All right. So let's do that and come back. So this is it. This is what we have here. So this is it on me. Thank you so much for stopping by, and please do come back for more tutorials, guys. Bye.